Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the I AFYL Podcast. Today, here's what we're talking about: the truth that's setting you free. Why are we talking about this? All right. So I was in deep thought and just kind of talking to the Lord about truth, and well, not just about truth. I was talking to him about things going on and stuff like that. And this word came up: truth. Truth. Now we're going to look at the difference between true and truth, because that difference makes a difference. So as we look at the difference of true and truth, we're going to go into the Word of God to see what Jesus had to say about truth, and then how we can apply it to every area of our life so that we can be set free. All right, guys. One, let's make sure you subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening to it. That'll be awesome and incredible. We're looking to get to 100,000 subscribers. We're already at about 11,000 this year, and wow, that's up from 100 and something at the end of 2023. So things are moving fast, and we thank you guys for coming in and being loyal subscribers here on our YouTube channel. And also, if you're watching on iTunes or Spotify, Google, one of those places, make sure you subscribe there and tell a friend or a family member about the podcast. So we're talking about truth this morning, and this truth has come up because truth is something that we need in order to do stuff. I'm saying it again. Truth is something we need in order to do stuff. Everything that we have to do in our life, everything that we have to do in our business, everything that we have to do with our family, our friends, our marriages, our health, what our finances, whatever it is, if it's not working, if there is a problem, then there's a misapplied truth to something that we're doing. Jay, well, how do you know that? Because I've had problems, right? And a problem is an opportunity, and a problem is an indication that there's a lack of something. Something is missing, right? So if something is missing, then what do I do? Like, how do I put in there like what's missing? So let's first figure out, before we go into the word, or before we kind of go off and kind of giving the remedy and solutions, let's look at what truth and truth means. So I just looked them up and on Google. True means something is based on facts, not imagined. So a lot of times we focus on the facts. Well, these are the facts of the matter. Now, here's the thing. Facts are good, but facts will not overthrow truth, because truth are principles. Truth are like the underlying essence of something. So if we were let's think about this. A fact is, say if I was talking about my health, a fact is if I'm 10 pounds overweight, that is a fact, right? I don't have to imagine that I'm 10 pounds overweight. If I'm 10 pounds over, I don't have to imagine. That's a fact. Now, the truth of the matter is, if I don't eat, like if I just say, you know what, I'm going to remove 200 calories a day, remove 500 calories a day. If I apply this principle of eating properly, the truth about eating, to my life, the facts change. You see that? So when I apply a principle, a truth to my life, the facts will change. So a lot of times people want to use facts. Facts are okay. In fact, they use facts all the time. And I'm going to stay in the health arena, because a lot of times you will hear statistics and you will hear, oh, we did an independent study on something. And what they do is they skew the results. What they do is they create the study for the sake of themselves so that they could say it's true. Ooh, this is deep. So I was recently, I've been just on this health thing for many years. So I'm always looking at different stuff. Now, there's a lot of things to believe. There's a lot of things that are true in the market. Here's one thing that I realized, and I'm going to use milk. You know how we got plant-based milk. I came under this truth just this week. I was just like, wait a second. Plant-based milk. But here's the problem with what they sell in the market with the plant-based milk. It's how they mess it up. They don't just take the almonds and just use almond and water or most, you know what I'm saying? They take it and they put other stuff in it and make it bad for you. This thing called oat milk, they say it's good for you. I'm not saying that you shouldn't drink it. What I'm telling you is that there's a lot of facts that they use in the market. But what happens is when you just go to the truth, where is the truth located? They tell you right on the label. It says, here's the truth about our product. But most people don't read the product. I'm not talking about you. I didn't read the product and start with gallum gum and all these phosphols and phosphates. What is that? That's not a mineral. That's not helping me. So if it's not helping me, then what is it doing to me? So they give me facts when they say this is a plant-based milk. Give me facts. Then they put all this other stuff in it, and then I don't even realize that those facts were skewed. What's the truth? So truth when it comes to food is anything that's just food. Anything that's just like bam, fruit. Now, well, that's a whole nother problem. Fruit, what they're doing with everything, right? Like, especially in this country. We can't trust. Here's the facts. It's true that we have all this food in the marketplace, but the problem that we have with the food in our marketplace is that there's a lot of foods that we have in our marketplace that are banned in other countries. That's the truth. It's not just a fact. It's the truth. Like, why they banned? Because it's not good for you. So here it is. They're touting, oh yeah, these things are good for you, and they're not. See, we have to find the truth so we can become free. So truth refers to real. It's like the real thing. I just said that it's the real thing. Like, what I'm saying, if I'm gonna drink any milk, I'm just gonna drink milk from now on. If I'm gonna drink any milk, I'm just gonna drink milk. Why? It's just one thing. It's just milk. It's just milk. It's just cream. It's not milk with a whole bunch of stuff in it that I don't know what it is and what it's doing. And now here's the problem though. Milk is not necessarily the best thing. Like, dairy is not necessarily good for you. And I'll tell you that straight up. It's not necessarily good. The only time I drink milk these days is I may have a protein shake, and even, and I'll be honest there, like, I got to look at that. Like how much ingredients does that have in it? Do I know what everything is? Is that hurting me? Like it's so hard. This truth is so hard. But what other things could we talk about? Now, before we go into those other things, I just want to go into the word real quick. Because Jesus was cold. Like, Jesus said some stuff that really, 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 really brought some people into the truth. And John, and this is where the truth, like, he says a bunch of things in John chapter 8 is where it starts off. Then Jesus, in verse 31, he says, and Jesus said to the Jews who believed on him, if you continue. So here's what he did. He says, I'm going to give you a condition that this is what's going to happen for you. If you continue, right, in my word, then you are my disciples indeed. So you got to continue in my word. And then he says, and you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. We're talking about the truth that'll set you free. And what is the truth? So first thing, Jesus said, if you continue in my word, what do you have to continue in if you're going to be made free? What do you have to continue in? See, like I said, there's food truth, there's financial truth. Oh man, this is big. And I know I bought every lie from the pit of hell when it's come to finances. I bought every lie. I bought all the lies about business. I bought so many lies, and I'm gonna tell you, it's hard letting go of lies because we didn't know they were lies. Remember, someone at some point told us it was true. Something was true. It's true that a job is what you need. But the truth is, we must find our purpose so that we can create an opportunity for ourselves and for others. That's the truth. We must, because if we don't discover our purpose and all we do is work for a living, yeah, we needed money, but we never discovered the real thing. We never actually became free. We never actually saw that, you know how a lot of times folks are just wishing and praying and hoping. I've been there, hoping for things. And Jesus is like, why would you worry or hope for those types of things when they're yours? When they're yours. Like how could anything that you want become yours? I'm talking about anything. I'm talking about anything. How could anything become yours? You know, I'm very open here on this podcast, right? And I'm open to a fault sometimes because, like I'll tell you just about everything about myself. Why? Because I want you to know that when the day that all you hear coming out of my mouth is nothing but all the transformations, all the stuff that I've made tons of money in my life. I've been blessed beyond measure, right? And I've discovered that even though I was blessed at those levels, there was levels unseen. There's a level that I must apply I must apply the right truths to get there. God is not going to allow you to get to these levels. Or you could get there, misapply truth, and it'll come crashing down. But who wants to do that? Like they say, oh, you're going to crash. No, 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 no. No crashing when you are rolling with the truth. There's no crashing, right? And not saying that people don't have, don't get into situations, but think about this. If Jesus was here today, would he be having problems with the stuff anything that he had to do, he would have the resources for. I'm not saying he wouldn't have like external problems. People didn't like him. Those things, yes, you'll have those. I'm talking about if you had a business, a ministry, or something that you had to develop for God, you think God's going to make it so that you can't do it? No. That's why we got to have this truth. So Jesus says, you should know the truth and the truth will make you free. Now, he said that at that point. Then he also said something else. Where is this one? Oh, then he also told the people what truth was. See, we got to know what the truth is. He says, Jesus said to him, he says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So he's telling us that, hey, if you're looking for truth, yeah, you can look around in those other places, but you better find me first because I am the truth, right? And see, as believers, we know this already. As believers, we know it already. Yep, as believers, we already know who Jesus is. We know that Jesus is the truth, but I'm gonna say, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. When those when those stretching moments come, when those impossible things show up, we think they're impossible, and then we don't actually allow Jesus in our life so that the truth can be applied there. There's some big things that you got to do in your life. There's a calling on your life, but here's the situation that you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with some great tragedies, trials. I was on the phone yesterday with someone and just kind of, they dealt with tragedy, like major tragedy in their life. Something that really broke them for I'm saying broke because the loss of a loved one can do something like that. And I'm on the phone with her and she's got kids and she had to go to therapy and the kids in therapy and all kind of just havoc is just happening. And as she's telling me her story, it hit me. And I just told her, I said, there's a calling on your life. Yeah, the day you woke up and you lost your husband, that's a means to the calling, right? Because God knew that you may not have gotten there had you not lost him. See, God is so weird. Some of these things happen and they don't make any sense. Like, why would I have to lose my husband? Another friend who lost her husband, I said the same thing to her. She had a call on her life. And that sometimes it gets a little tough because we are attached to the things that we are attached to. When Jesus is saying, I am the vine, I am the way, I am the truth. He's saying that, look, you better detach from everything else and you better connect to me if you want to be set free. That's what he's saying. So, yeah, you lose your husband, you got Jesus. You lose your wife, you got Jesus. You lose a son or daughter, you got Jesus. You better, I'm not going to say you, but we better connect. Right. I was talking to my friend yesterday and we're going through, I told her she has a call in her life. And then she starts telling me, oh, but I got this book I have to write. Oh, you got a book? And another book, and an invention. I'm like, oh, I see. This thing is to distract you away from the calling on your life. These problems are here to keep you from it. And the enemy is really gotten a hold. Like the enemy comes in, man. The enemy is coming in hard. Yesterday we talked about Job, and what we talked about is, when everything falls apart, you lose everything. What do? He says, naked I came into the world, naked I return. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So can we apply that to our life? Now, Jesus is saying he's the way and the truth. Now, at the end of the matter in Jesus's life, he left us a charge. What is the charge? He's talking to Pilate, right? He's now at the road where he's you think he's going down this road. He hadn't gotten to Calvary yet, but that's where he was headed. He says to Pilate in John chapter 18 in verse 37. And so Pilate's talking to him. Pilate therefore said unto him, art you a king? Jesus answered, this is where Jesus perked up. He says, thou sayest I'm a king. To this end I was born. I'm going to hold here. See, what Jesus wants us to know, the reason for your life is more important merely than just the things that we do. You catch that? The reason for your life is more important than things you do. Sometimes the things you do is just a means. It's a means to the reason. But the thing is, Pilate now was a witness of a king that came into the world. Pilate knew. And he says, you called me a king. That is why I was born. And for this cause, I came into this world. He came to the world to show what being a king looks like in the kingdom, to show what truth looks like, truth renewed in the kingdom looks like. Then he also said this. He says that I should bear witness unto the truth. Everyone that is on the side of truth heareth my voice. The truth that sets you free. So Jesus is talking to Pilate here. And Pilate was discombobulated because Pilate is like, what? No, what are you talking about? What is truth? Pilate couldn't even understand what he was talking about. It is as clear as it sounds to you and me. It was not clear because he's like, well, what the heck are you talking about? What is truth then? See, because at the end of the day, truth are principles. Truth is a way to live. Truth are not merely facts, because facts can be made up. You can't make up the truth, because the truth always leads you to a good end. A truism or fact doesn't necessarily lead you to a good end. So no matter what your circumstances are today, right? Physically, mentally, spiritually. What I told my friend yesterday when I was talking to her, I said, your problem is spiritual. Your problem is not physical. It's not that you're crazy. It's not that you can't manage everything. There's a spiritual connection that needs to be really pulled together. And by pulling this spiritual connection, getting closer to the spirit of truth, the problems that we have, they just dissipate. They go away, right? They go away in a way that one day you had them, and then another day they're like gone. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's gone. So when we're talking about this truth that makes us free, it's connecting to the one who is truth, the one who is knowledge, the one who is wisdom, the one who is understanding, the one who has all faith and knows everything, and there is nothing impossible with him, the one and only God, through Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. That truth will make us free. All right, but here's the problem. I'm talking a little bit on the problem. Here's the problem. There's so much evidence. There's so much evidence working against truth, because there's so many true things that people have given us as truth. There's so much evidence. I grew up in the church. I grew up religious. And still, I'm probably still religious, right? I'm still religious. I can't tell you that I'm not religious. I just know I grew up in the church, and what I've discovered in my growing up is that as much as they had truth, the truth was not being applied. It was misapplied. And the misapplication of truth caused many to turn away from the truth. What about you? Like, did that happen at your church? Did that happen in, where now people don't believe in religion? Which religion? Here it comes. Religion was not created by God. The form of religion that we have the form of religion was not created by God. I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and man, I want you to, I'm gonna throw this out here, and then we might pick it up another time. The word Christian was used as a mockery to the folks who were following Christ. It was a mockery. This was not a word that you wanted to be associated with. But that word, think about that. That's it. Just call it what it is, a spade, a spade. It's a demonic word. I'm not saying to be like Christ is demonic. What I'm saying is the way that word was brought about, it's actually leading us in the wrong direction. Well, how do I know? Why is there so many Christian religions? She don't be one. Oh, but we believe something different. How can we believe something different when we all got the same thing? If we have a Bible, how can we believe something different? I don't know. That's for you. That's for you to study. I can't give you all the answers here. I'm not going to give you the answers. I can just kind of like throw out some seeds for you to go run back and say, let me go study this stuff. Let me go study the Gospels. Let me go study the Word of God. And let me go pray and ask God to give me a revelation. See, when you get a revelation about something from the Spirit himself, that's when you know. That's when no one can tell you really what you believe. Like, I can disagree with people all day long because I'm like, I don't believe that. The truth will make you free. So if you want the truth to make you free, you're not going to get it from Jay. Jay can't give it to you, but Jesus Christ can give it to you. God himself, when you give your life over to God, when you allow the principles, the highest principles to help you to operate in everything you do, you'll be free. It'll be just like that. You say, hey, Lord, I need freedom. Can you give it to me? I'm ready to serve. He's going to say, it's yours. Let's go. So we ready to go. Let's go, guys. I appreciate you for joining me for this episode of the I AFYL Podcast. Man, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant. And we look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow on the next episode. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.